Hello everybody, welcome in, welcome in. Today we're going to be reacting to SCP-049, the Plague Doctor. It is a Euclid class. Alright, a 2018 rewrite. Ooh, okay, I'm assuming his lore was rewritten in some way. But yeah, this is what we're going to react to today. Hopefully it is as entertaining as all the other ones have been. Besides that, I hope you guys hydrated and hope you guys got a comfy place, got your snacks ready, and let's get right into it. Let's see.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be studying today is SCP-49.
Okay.
Object Class, Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-49 is contained within a standard secure humanoid containment cell in Research Sector 2 at Site-19. SCP-49 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it. During transport, SCP-49 must be secured within a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints, and monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guards. While SCP-49 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behavior are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with SCP-49 during these outbursts. In the event SCP-49 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender, L. multifida, has been shown to produce a calming effect on the entity. Once calmed, SCP-49 generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance.
Interesting.
In order to facilitate the ongoing containment of SCP-49, the entity is to be provided with a corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or other large mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of SCP-49-2 are to be removed from SCP-49's containment cell and incinerated. SCP-49 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied. Temporary Containment Procedure Update. See Addendum 49.3. Per Containment Committee Order 049.S19.17.1, SCP-49 is no longer permitted to interact directly with any members of Foundation staff, nor is it to be provided with any additional corpses to be used in its surgeries. This order shall persist indefinitely, until such time it can...
So he acts like an actual plague doctor in a way. Because he likes because he's learning about well, he's studying the human body, or he wants to for some reason, but they're giving him animal corpses. They can't touch him, they said. I wonder why. He's compliant and they've no lavender. Do they mean like a fabric lavender, or do they mean like a specific type of lavender? Like, I'm not, we'll see right now. This is weird. Also, I think the picture looks awesome. He looks awesome in that picture. That's a great picture. Anyways, he's Euclid. Okay, that means he's really dangerous, but not world ending, or Keter would be the world ending type, or could end at least a country type danger.
Consensus regarding the ongoing containment of SCP-49 can be reached.
Okay.
Description. SCP-49 is a humanoid entity, roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor.
Yeah.
While SCP-49 appears to be wearing thick robes, and the ceramic mask indicative of that profession, the garments instead seem to have grown out of SCP-49's body over time, and are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. X-rays indicate that despite this, SCP-49 does have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer. SCP-49 is capable of speech in a variety of languages, though it tends to prefer English or medieval French. While SCP-49 is generally cordial and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become easily irritated, or at times outright aggressive, if it feels that it is in the presence of what it calls the Pestilence. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to SCP-49. SCP-49 will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, SCP-49 will generally attempt to kill any such individual. SCP-49 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. How this occurs is currently unknown, and autopsies of SCP-49's victims have invariably been inconclusive. SCP-49 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence, though will usually seek to perform a crude surgery on the corpse using the implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of SCP-49-2. SCP-49-2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by SCP-49. These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions,
you can make
having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms.
It's actually cool.
While these instances are generally inactive, moving very little, and in a generally ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked, or if directed to by SCP-49.
He could control them.
SCP-49-2 instances express active biological functions, though these are vastly different from currently understood human physiology. Despite these alterations, SCP-49 often remarks that the subjects have been cured. Addendum 49.1 Discovery. SCP-49 was discovered during the investigation of a series of unknown disappearances in the town of Montauban in southern France. During a raid on a local home, investigators found several instances of SCP-49-2 as well as SCP-49. While law enforcement personnel engaged the hostile 49-2 instances, SCP-49 was noted as watching the engagement and taking notes in its journal. After all of the 49-2 instances were dispatched, SCP-49 willingly entered Foundation custody. The following interview was conducted by Dr. Raymond Ham during the initial investigation. Interviewer, Dr. Raymond Ham, Site 85. Interviewee, SCP-49. Playing log, now.
Interesting. Ooh, that's a good voice to give it. Hold up. Before he answers my questions, I gotta get them questions out there. What is the pestilence? Why does he want to cure it? Why does he make zombies? He has to touch his death? How? Why does he look so good? I'm not gonna lie. If I were to get a Vtuber custom made fully, it'd have it'd be a little bit Plague Doctor themed. I'm very much a sucker of a Plague Doctor cosmetics looks. It's amazing to me. I like it very much. Anyways, yeah, what is the pestilence? Is like it's something he says we have, and if we do, it wants to kill us and then make us into zombies. I guess in a way cure us. What is this thing after, or what does it think it's fighting? Because it's obviously, if it sees it and he's going after it and kills people with it and tries to cure them, he's like a doctor going after like a disease only he could heal. Which, you know, in everybody else's eyes is like, oh, he's just a murderer, which, you know, it depends. If obviously what he's doing is not, you know, great, but do we have some sickness that we're unaware of and he's trying his best to cure us, or is he just crazy, you know? And the fact that he's willing most of the time, I'm like, wow, okay, I would have thought you would be against at least the Foundation, since they're kind of stopping you from doing your job.
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I...
a doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir?
Cryptobiology. Why?
a medical man such as myself, wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here.
The pestilence? What do you mean?
The scourge. The great dying. Come now. You know what is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes.
What is it
It
that you
abounds
see?
outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure, to end all cures.
When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague?
I don't know what that is.
I see. Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them.
In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death, sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
You think you cured those people?
Indeed. My cure is most effective.
But the things we recovered were not human.
What is it you see?
Yes,
Do
well,
we have
it is
something?
not a perfect cure, but
Yeah,
that will
okay.
come with time and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded. And assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own. In time.
Oh, I don't think our organization would be willing to...
Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor. Our work begins now.
Interviewer's
Oh,
note.
okay.
While SCP-49 is capable of communicating in a
Interesting. I
very
like this
human
a
way,
lot.
there is a strange sense of unease that one experiences when in its presence. Make no mistake, there is something very uncanny about this entity, indeed. Additionally, we've confiscated that pointed stick that SCP-49 keeps waving around. Part of this was due to standard confiscation protocols for the possession of anomalies, and part because 49 really is a menace, swinging it around like he does. The entity was displeased at first, but after we made some concessions in providing it with test subjects, which are admittedly more for the benefit of our own research, it warmed up to the idea. Addendum 49.2 Observation Log. While in containment at Site-19, SCP-49 has spent a considerable amount of time studying and performing surgery on the various mammalian corpses it had been provided. SCP-49 will routinely spend several days performing surgery, and then, regardless of whether or not the corpse becomes an instance of SCP-49-2, spending several more days documenting its findings in a thick leather journal stored within its doctor's bag. SCP-49 will often seek to share its findings with members of Foundation staff. The following is a log of several occasions during which SCP-49 was observed operating on a mammalian corpse. Observational Log 49.0L.1 Summary. Subject SCP-49. Preface. A test subject, D-85-123, was introduced into SCP-49's containment cell. The entity expressed sincere gratitude towards all members of the containment and research staff. Observation notes. SCP-49 began by asking D-85-123 several standard medical questions as it began removing tools from its bag. Shortly after finishing its preparations, SCP-49 quickly closed the distance between the two, killing the subject with a touch to its throat. Afterwards, SCP-49 made a number of considerable alterations to the basic structure of the subject's corpse, often introducing fluids from within its bag into the subject by way of a hand-powered pump and copper tubing. The resulting 49-2 instance became animated, flailing and grasping at the walls of the chamber with a number of manufactured limbs while moaning out of an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. During this time, SCP-49 was observed taking notes of the instance in its journal and remarking to the watching research staff about the efficacy of its cure. Security personnel entered the chamber to move SCP-49 back to containment and were attacked by the instance. The security team dispatched the 49-2 instance, and SCP-49 returned to containment with no resistance, stating that it was pleased with the results. Observational Log 49.0L.2 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased goat. SCP-49 expressed gratitude at the provision. Observation Notes: SCP-49 operated on the goat corpse for several days, eventually resulting in an instance of SCP-49-2. SCP-49 expressed pleasure in this outcome, though admitted the disease was still in its nascent stage. My veterinarian practice is rudimentary, but the patient responded well to the procedure. Observational Log 49.0L.3 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased orangutan. SCP-49 expressed noted gratitude at the provision due to the similarities between the orangutan and common human physiology. Observation Notes: SCP-49 spent several days operating on the orangutan, reanimating it several times. However, SCP-49 appeared to be discontent with the results it experienced, returning to the creature 3 times after its initial reanimation for additional work. After it was unable to reanimate the corpse a 5th time, SCP-49 turned the corpse over to Foundation staff for incineration, stating, "I have learned so much from this, though I fear my early optimism was misplaced. I hadn't yet come across such a stumbling block on my road to the cure. More subjects like this would do a great deal in advancing my research." Observational Log 49.0L.7.
I'm still curious. What is this pestilence he sees? You know? Like, it'd be funny, right? If we keep turning him down and it turns out later we find out like we're all sick of something and like, we just couldn't see it. And this guy has been trying to cure it. Though his cure is very, some would say, unethical. It'd be funny if he was right technically. And in his perspective, he's justified because, you know, later it's already gonna be too late for us, but he's like gonna be like, "I told you so. You guys stopped me on my work." You know, it'd be both funny but also like, wow, like sad in a way, like damn, we should have listened to this man.
Full. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased bovine. SCP-49 expressed mild annoyance at the provision, though it accepted it nonetheless. Observation Notes: SCP-49 spent several days operating on the bovine corpse, breaking only to dine on a requested dinner of thin crackers, salted pork, and hard cheese. Beginning first by embalming the corpse, SCP-49 was observed producing a number of long syringes from its bag, each containing a different dark viscous fluid. SCP-49 described these fluids as essences of the humors, and elaborated by saying the pestilence may bring about a systemic imbalance. In such case, before true healing can begin, one must find the humors in balance, or the body will reject the cure. Over the next few days, SCP-49 spent a considerable amount of time adjusting the organs of the bovine corpse with a number of large metal instruments. After 8 days, SCP-49 produced a lightning rod, which Dr. Ham exchanged for an electric cattle prod attached to an extension cord, and struck the corpse in several locations. This action seemingly had the effect of reanimating the bovine, which once again became ambulatory, despite the inversion of the head and reorientation of its limbs. And this is a follow-up interview to the previous observation logs. Playing log now.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness no. The process is most intensive. As I said to your assistant, the best instruction you will find about my methods are here in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
Oh, I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
Right.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy.
Ooh, you might die here.
What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Stricken as it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you? No. You find them and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that will be all. Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies.
Ooh, nice.
Attending
Okay.
researchers note, SCP...
I'm just confused. I'm like, I don't know if I should like trust this thing or not, because like it could be just a madman entity, right? This entity, because it was somewhat human, right? Because it has a human skeleton all the way under all its other layers. But what I'm confused about, right? What I'm conflicted about, right, is this being actually seeing something in everything that we can't see that is a disease to us, or is it simply a crazy thing? Like, is it trying to remove something from us that we need, but in its eyes we don't need or isn't ours? Or is it crazy or not is what I want to figure out. I'm trying to figure out right now, because it could be, for all intents and purposes, just seeing something that we can't see. And it sounds crazy, but it turns out it's not crazy later. And I can't tell. I really can't tell. Its methods are weird. It brings back zombies in the way, but like, what else is it doing? What is it cleansing the body of? It doesn't tell us, and that's the thing that makes it so hard to work with it. But it clearly sees something.
SCP-049 does seem to genuinely want to help other humans, though it has not yet been able to provide a concrete example of what exactly it is trying to save us all from. I have watched it now for several weeks, and while the outcomes do not seem to ever change, SCP-049 continues to claim that it is growing closer to its perfect cure. I think the entity may be more aware of the reality of these outcomes than it would like us to think. Addendum 49.3 April 16, 2017 Incident. Starting shortly after SCP-049's initial containment, Dr. Ham conducted a number of interviews with the subject regarding its anomalous properties, and over time began to note its displeasure with its subjects and SCP-049-2 instances. This continued for a period of several months, during which SCP-049 never exhibited any aggressive behaviors. On April 16, 2017, as Dr. Ham was entering SCP-049's test chamber to conduct another routine interview, the entity began to grow anxious and asked Dr. Ham if he was feeling well. Following protocol, Dr. Ham reminded SCP-049 that the interview was required, after which the entity became hostile and attacked Dr. Ham, killing him. Due to a lapse in security protocol and because Dr. Ham did not activate the in-chamber emergency system, Dr. Ham's corpse was not discovered until 3 hours later, by which point SCP-049 had converted it into an instance of SCP-049-2. In the aftermath of this incident, SCP-049 was interviewed by Dr. Theron Sherman.
Did he have the
Playing log.
pestilence?
Now.
I need you to explain yourself. SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment.
My actions do not need to be explained.
You killed Raymond Ham, and then butchered him until he...
Not dead. No, not dead. He is cured.
Cured? Cured of what?
Pestilence, sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is. I detected it before.
What pestilence? You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you have possibly seen in him today that you had not seen so many times before, that it would be worth his life?
The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared. And call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him. He is cured.
He is a vegetable.
Damn, you put him in a turn him into a vegetable?
Expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again not to be men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen. Those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and been changed.
Your cure cost Ray his life.
No, good sir, I have saved it. You would allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring that I have created a miracle. And
what disease? What pestilence? He was a healthy man. He was a good doctor.
I'm offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir. You are short-sighted and foolish. Dr. Ham was sick, and I cured him. I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is still so much to learn, so much.
I've had enough of this.
And
consider your allowances revoked.
Saved, even you.
Welcome to containment, 049.
Might be saved.
We're done here.
I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all.
Ooh, this is good and good.
Only me. I saved him. Dr. Ham. I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And you are all sick, but I can save you. I can save all of you because I am the cure.
Addendum 49.4 Post-Incident Report Interview. The following interview is an excerpt from the April 16, 2017 49 Incident Report. The interview was conducted by Dr. Elijah Itkin and took place 3 weeks after the start of the initial investigation. Playing now.
SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member. Do you have any comments to make? Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work. I have spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it. Have you experienced any remorse for your actions? For the death of Dr. Ham? Ah, yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable. But in the face of the pestilence, we must be swift, Doctor, and act without
What do you
hesitation.
see, though? I don't
Dr.
get it.
Sherman noted in his report that you seemed to be mournful during your initial interview. Mourn? Perhaps. I had not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight. Living human subjects are the only way to proceed forward, I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I have gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer
They're not gonna give you
from
that.
the disease. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. Oh, Doctor, I wouldn't be so sure.
Did he kill him?
I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you're all dismissed. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yo, what is this page?
Hi everyone. So
Okay.
before the Patreon thank yous, I would like to thank people that contributed to this video. All of the links to their YouTube channels or their respective websites will be in the description, so I encourage you to go and check them out, because they're all great. Number 1 was Sherm from Site 42. Number 2 was Dr. Sumerian, voice actor and author. Links will be in the description.
Oh, that's cool.
DJ
That's cool. That's
Cactus
cool.
was the guy that was responsible for the rewrite. And finally, Gabriel Jade, who was the original author of SCP-049. If you visit the SCP wiki page for SCP-049, you will find the logs that you've heard in this video. And this was a pretty big deal for me, because this pretty much means that my take on the 049 voice is canon. And that is awesome, man. It's a really good feeling.
Cool.
I've been voicing this character
Congrats.
for, I don't know, like 5 years now. To be officially part of the document as the voice of the SCP is just great. Again, all links in the descriptions for everything and everyone who helped with this video. And that's everything. So, I'm going to thank my patrons now. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Alright. That is where I'm gonna call my video on this reaction. But I'm gonna say this is very interesting. I'm very conflicted right now. This part of me wants to believe that this plague doctor isn't just doing this for no reason, right? He's got some kind of agenda. Somewhere he's doing something, right? There might be something that we just cannot see that he's going after. But part of me also says, well, he just might be crazy. He might just be absolute horse shit. You know, he might just be going off the wire. He might just be making all of this up for all I know. But you know what? We don't know. That's the problem. And I would like to think that he actually sees something. And there's actually something there. We're just too blind to see it. Is what I like to think. It's what I'm gonna be thinking. Is like, it'd be cooler. It would be cooler if it was. Well, that has been my reaction to SCP-049, the Plague Doctor, who is one of my favorite looking ones. But that's because of a personal preference. I'm not gonna lie. Besides that, yeah, those have been my thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a great day, evening, hydrate, and take care of yourselves. That's gonna be all for me. Bye bye.